today's episode we're doing a Spanish chorizo cooked in cider with chickpeas. And the chorizo we're sort of doing two ways. So one of the chorizo I've blitzed up and turned into mince. If you can get hold of fresh chorizo, you probably don't have to do this. You can just take the casing off and use the insides. But we'll pop that into our fry pan, into a cold pan. We want to extract the fat, is where the flavour is in the chorizo, so we're going to try and extract as much of that out as we can. So pop that in, turn that on. But once I've got a decent amount of oil out of that, my actual chorizo where we're going to get. So that's going to be, that makes up the sauce, and this is what will make up the texture. So I'm going to chop this down the middle, and then sort of tear it into open like that, so that I've got pieces I can chop up and get some chunky pieces of chorizo with different texture. So if I just cut this into rounds, you have that sort of classic chorizo round, but I want these sort of funky torn pieces to be able to expose the inside of the chorizo again and get some flavour out of that, but also to get some different texture. So tear those up into bite-sized pieces. Give my minced chorizo a bit of a stir, and then in with that goes our bigger portions to fry off. Going to cook that until we get some good colour on it, and then we've got everything else that basically I'm going to add. I know there's going to be a decent amount of fat that comes out of this, but I just think the butter component helps with our sauce, helps with the emulsification of our sauce. Just a few knobs of butter in there. I'll cook that off until I've got a little bit of colour, enough oil that I can cook the rest of my ingredients in. So I've got a brown onion that I'm just going to slice. And then I've got some chickpeas, just tinned chickpeas. Break that up. And we've got some nice, again, slicing it because I want that texture of the sliced onion rather than the diced onion. Because this dish sort of sits in a sauce, you do want some texture somewhere in the dish. All right, so we'll probably, like I said, only another 2 or 3 minutes of that, and then our onion and our chickpeas will go in, and then we've probably got about 10 or 15 minutes of cook time, and then we can start the glazing. That has reduced down probably by a little over half, and the consistency, so by adding that cider, the acidity of the cider has sort of emulsified with the oil that came out of the chorizo and the butter, and it's made that sauce kind of a creamy sauce, which is what you're after. And there's no pools of oil in there. So everything's come together nicely, which is what we wanted. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. So, a real hearty dish. Pop it into a bowl, serving bowl. Good wintertime chorizo stew. And I've got some sourdough to serve it with. Nice and crunchy. I'll just put some decent lashings of olive oil on there. Rub that with some garlic as well if you wanted to, just to again reinforce that garlic flavour that's in the chorizo. Put my sourdough on the side. So there we've got chorizo and chickpeas cooked in a cider sauce. The important thing here is making sure you mince one of the chorizo and sort of break one up as well. The broken one will give you that texture that you want in a stew, and that minced one is what makes that sauce, just packs that sauce full of that chorizo flavour, that paprika and garlic flavour.